You're welcome. I want to speak on common computer crimes. Computer crimes are crimes that are launched using a computer, incidentally because of the diffusion of the use of computers in the world today. It has been seriously abused, with a lot of people determined to make illegitimate money through computer crimes. And so the attention of the law enforcement agents and the security practitioners have also been focused on how to prevent and detect these crimes. So computer crime can be committed using a computer, like I've said, and computer crime can be committed against a computer. So we'll look at the different types of computer crimes. Principally, we have passive computer crimes, then we have active computer crimes. Passive computer crimes are used to gather information about the target. Okay, attacks like eavesdropping. Okay, so they just want to get information about that organization. So they can go to their websites, they can go to their advertisements on uh, IT employee advertisement, recruitment advertisement. You know, a lot of organizations they give away too many information when they are recruiting for IT. So you're actually describing your enterprise architecture while you are looking for a network administrator, you are looking for a system administrator. So you have to be very, very careful the kind of information you give out on social media or in the public space when you are recruiting for those roles. So in passive attack, the attacker is simply gathering information that he can use to launch attack. Then in active attack, the actual attack is now launched to either steal information, modify information, or even cause denial of service. Okay, so different type of attack. We have Trojan horse. Okay, so Trojan horse is simply drawn from the Greek mythology of the war between Greece and Troy, when Greece could not breach the walls of Troy, so they developed a horse, a wooden horse, and left it in front of the walls of Troy. And naively, the Trojans, they moved the horse into their city. And in the night, the soldiers that were hidden in that horse came out and opened the walls of Troy, and that was how Troy was defeated. Okay, so the same way you are going to have a normal application developed by a programmer, but within that application, the programmer is going to embed a code that maybe could be a spyware that will be spying on the organization, or even a malware that could be a form of virus or worm. So that is a Trojan horse. Then you have phishing. So in phishing, the attacker could send an email. Oh, we are from your bank. We are doing a maintenance. Click on this link. Submit your primary account number, your CV2, your PIN. So it takes security awareness training to be able to identify a phishing email. Okay, then we have a traffic analysis. So traffic analysis, the attacker is listening to the calls of the organization, and it may not be able to understand. Maybe the traffic channel is encrypted. Okay, but the frequency of calls could be an indication of that something is happening. Maybe normally you normally receive like 10 calls in a day. Then in a particular week, you started receiving like 50, 70, 80 calls per day. So it can give the attacker an idea that something is happening within the organization. They need to ask more questions. Okay. Then we have IP spoofing. Okay. In IP spoofing, what the attacker is trying to do is to defeat your screening system, maybe your firewall system. Okay. So the firewall could have been configured to drop packets from a certain disallowed IP. So the guy with that disallowed IP may just try and check if he has information. Maybe he knows the IP range that is acceptable to the firewall, so he can go and mimic that one of the IPs in that range, and once the firewall sees that IP, it allows the traffic, the packets to pass. So that means the firewall security has been defeated through because of that IP spoofing. Okay, we also have email spoofing. So somebody can send you a mail from CFO of so and so, or the CEO or CIO of Yahoo. So we need this information from you. So this has caused a lot of harm to a lot of people, because they think the email is actually valid, but the email might be fake. Okay, so that also takes security awareness, training to detect, and also a lot of attention to detail. So we have ARP spoofing, address resolution protocol spoofing. Address resolution protocol is used to map IP address with the machine MAC address. So the MAC address is the physical address, the manufacturer address of the machine. So in a network where we are using dynamic host configuration protocol to dynamically assign IP address to a machine, okay, we need to be able to know which machine uses an IP address at a particular time, and that is the job of the ARP. All right, now in ARP spoofing, the attacker will now link his own MAC address with the IP address of a sensitive or critical server or device. So it means that the traffic meant for that critical server will be diverted to the attacker. So you can see this is a very, very technical and very an attack with serious implications. Okay. Then we have denial of service. So in denial of service, the attacker is more concerned about bringing your service down. So it's about denying the organization of availability. Okay, so we have banana attack. So outgoing traffic is returned back to the sender machine. So it's like the sender machine will now be drowned in its own in the packets that it has sent out. Okay, so we also have a ping of death. So we are, when you want to know whether a system is up, you can ping it. Okay, so you send the ICMP packets. But of course, if the ICMP packets, are too many, okay, the node receiving the packet may become overwhelmed and become unresponsive. So we also have teardrop attack. So whereby a packet that is bigger than 65,535 bytes is sent to a node, the machine will not be able to process it, and because of that, it will become unresponsive. So denial of service basically is to attack the availability concept for that particular organization. Okay, then we have eavesdropping. So in this case, the attacker is listening, maybe a form of wiretapping. Okay, it can be listening to your calls in the organization, watching what you are doing in the organization. So this is also a form of passive attack, like I've said earlier. So you have data modification. So this is an attack on data integrity. Okay, so the attacker, because the attacker now has access, it has access. So it's also it result as a result of a breach of access control and also rights. Okay, so if the attacker is able to breach your access control and have access to the data, and he also have the right to modify it, then a lot of things can happen that will affect data integrity. Okay, then you have a SYN flood. Okay, you remember the three handshake connection in TCP. So flooding the node with SYN packets. So the node will be overwhelmed, okay, by SYN packets, and because of that, that particular node will also become unresponsive. You have spam, so unsolicited emails. So of course, technology is improving to be able to kind of use a Bayesian filtering to be able to pick the spam emails and dump them in a spam folder. So that also could be a challenge in that they can distract you from even the official mails. Okay, we have word dialings. The word dialing, which is basically, trying all manner of phone numbers until you get the phone number associated with the modem, which you can now use to dial into the network of the victim organization. Then we have word driving. So hackers can use word driving around the facilities of the organization with a hacking tool in their car, which they will use to hack your network, your wireless network. Okay, you also have wall walking. So instead of driving, if you have access, you can walk around, and the hacking device is in your pocket, okay, or in your briefcase. Okay, then you have wall checking. So once you find a particular point of vulnerability in the wireless network of the organization, you can mark it, you can chalk it, so that next time you are coming around, it will be easier for you to locate that point. Okay, then computer virus is a big problem in the world today. So you have programs that are written to uh, destroy computers, destroy your data, uh, so cause all manner of headaches. And because of that, computer virus basically they need a media, all right, to move around. So maybe USB files, flash drives, emails. So you have all these emails online causing using fear tactics. Okay, you have to send this email to 10 people or you will die, or there will be an unfortunate incident, or if you send it to 20 people, something good will happen to you. So you can see an email can originate in a continent, and before you know it, it has gone around the world, maybe in as little time as 20 minutes. So computer virus is a big problem, and of course you need to use antivirus for you to be able to be safe, and of course security awareness training too. Know what to check a file online before you click it, so that you don't click on computer virus without knowing. Okay, we have computer worm similar to computer virus, but the edge that computer worm has is that it does not need the media to spread. It can self propagate. So the idea behind the worm is simply to eat up your network resources. So by the time the computer worm maybe has eaten up your bandwidth, you don't have bandwidth left for production services. So that could also cause denial of service. Okay, you have SQL injection, which is used on application. So application that of course, an application will have a front end a section where the users can key in information. So instead of keying maybe name or phone number or address, the attacker can key in a code, okay, which would now be used maybe to bring down your to bring down the database at the back end, or to get certain information that normally should not have been exposed to the attacker. So the only way to overcome or one of the ways to overcome SQL injection is to ensure that your programmers have had secure coding training and they use input validation. So if a particular field is meant only for alphabet, it should take only alphabet. All right. So if I write a command, then the system should give me error messages. Of course, all these attacks, they are not exhaustive. There are so many other ones outside there. Okay. For example, when you go to ATMs or you are keying your password, you have shoulder surfing. So somebody can stay behind you and is watching the password you are typing. So that's why it's always recommended that your password should not be displayed as you are typing it. It should be masked. Okay. So we also have other attacks. Uh, Other attacks like a scavenging. Okay, so the attacker can just go to your waste paper baskets, okay, and look for maybe your sensitive information that perhaps you didn't shred. So you expect that uh, your sensitive information should not just be torn up and dumped into the waste paper basket. That attack is also called dumpster diving. Dumpster diving. So the attacker can go to your waste paper basket, or even on your laptop can go to your deleted files. Okay, so to check what are the information you have deleted on recycle bin. It's also a form of dumpster diving. Okay, so many attacks outside there, piggybacking somebody that is authorized can use that physical access to give access to somebody that is not authorized. So to overcome that, you use trapdoors. Okay, the trapdoor is the kind of doors you see banks using. Only one person can enter it at a particular point in time. The moment you enter, it closes behind you. So if you use your credentials to have that access, all right, the door closes behind you. You cannot bring in somebody else. So for a computer auditor or a financial auditor, or somebody that is saddled with control implementation or control reviews in an organization, this particular video is very, very essential for you. Okay, so I'm rounding up now. Click the subscribe buttons to be able to get access to more videos from me. Thank you.